welcome to Women in AI at Code with Eve. I am so excited to launch this brand new interview series with this very first episode. Today marks the beginning of a journey where we explore the many different paths incredible women have taken into the world of tech and AI. We will talk about their challenges, their breakthroughs, their proudest moments, and the stories that shaped who they are. I am Eve, a Microsoft AI MVP, and I'm truly grateful to be back online with you. I have actually missed this community so much. I've been a little quiet lately while wrapping up my master's studies, but now I'm back, fully recharged and ready to dive into this new chapter with all of you. And before we get started, let me inspire you with a decade-old memory that feels even more remarkable today. The fact that this is now possible by simply sending such a message to an LLM shows just how quickly technology accelerates. And because tech is moving so fast and becoming something anyone can use, it feels more important than ever that we learn how to use AI safely and confidently. So this is one of the goals of this series, which is for everyone really, whether you are already deep into tech, deep into AI, or just taking your first steps, or simply curious about the future of tech and inclusion. And my hope is that these conversations will inspire you, spark new ideas, and remind you that there is no single right path into tech and AI. And in just a moment, I'll welcome our very first guest, an amazing woman in AI who will share how she entered the tech world, the role models who shaped her, and what her journey has looked like so far. So please give a warm welcome to Rebecca.
Hello.
Hi, Rebecca. How are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm so happy that you are here with us today. And I can't wait to hear your stories about how did you get into AI and what are you doing on the side of your everyday job and all the inspiring stories that you have ready for us today. So
Perfect.
I might come already with my first question actually, is that what was the first thing that sparked your interest to get into the field of AI?
Yeah, actually, that happened way before ChatGPT launched and everybody got started talking
Yeah.
about AI and generative AI. Because when I studied business informatics in my master's, I wrote my master thesis about financial support to underrepresented families in Germany. And they struggled with German bureaucracy and all the forms they had to fill to get financial support, for example, to afford childcare or anything like that. And we built an app that translated these forms for them so they could then understand the forms in their native language. And back then, we used AI to build that translation and to build a very native chatbot model they could talk to and make it just better understandable. And this was kind of like the first spark where I understood, okay, this is such a cool technology that can help to really like solve societal challenges like this was for people not understanding German language or not being that familiar with German bureaucracy.
Right, right, and it sounds really much of an example of inclusion as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and who or what influenced you most when you entered this space, other than this project?
Yeah. Actually, the studies that I conducted in my bachelor's was business administration. So I did not study informatics from the start. And then after my bachelor, I started to work. And I had one friend, she actually directly after our business administration studies said, yeah, I want to do something more technical. So I'm going to start business informatics as a master's. And she studied right away and I did not. So I was working, she was studying, and we still kept in contact. And after a few months, she always told me, yeah, it's really tough, but I can manage it. And probably if she sees that or if she listens to that and she hears what I'm saying now, she will start to laugh because I started to think if she can do it, I can do it too. And this is just like because we did everything together, and she was just kind of like a role model for me that I can do it. And then I started studying business informatics, and I have to say, I studied business informatics in the master's at a very small university. I studied in Innsbruck in Tyrol, in Austria, and it was a really small university. The vibe was very diverse. Everybody was helping each other out, and I think this made a big difference for me, to also stay in that tech field, because I always had the feeling that everybody is supporting each other.
Yeah, that's nice that you had that feeling, and that's
Yeah,
really what everyone should feel. So they feel,
definitely.
a little more safe and confident to get started.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. I would also still say that this university was kind of like my safe space to enter this tech world without being like judged or anything.
Yeah. But you're not studying anymore, is that right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not studying anymore.
Yeah, so you are working with AI today.
Yeah.
So can you please tell a little more about how your current role looks like in AI and what part of it energizes you the most?
Yeah. Yeah, to answer that question, I probably have to explain a little bit what different roles I'm into
Yes.
right now. So, first of all, I am self-employed as a freelance AI consultant, mainly in focusing on AI governance, but also on AI enablement within mid-sized companies. And on the other hand, I am the initiator of a safe space community here in Germany, which is called the Female AI Club, and we are kind of like a learning platform for everything related to AI. And our mission is to hand out a safe space to women, to get comfortable, to have an easy access towards the tech topics, and to just like build that self-confidence that can then be used also in mixed teams afterwards. So I would say that my role is very diverse. On the one side, it's very technical when it comes to that AI governance, but also AI enablement, because I'm trying to build the basis within companies to make them, to make them ready for the AI change. And on the other hand, it's also very business related, because it's not just like building up the learning formats, but also like to market them, to sell them, to talk to magazines and so on. And I think having these diverse roles is what makes it like, or what energizes me the most about it, because it's not just like having one topic that I'm totally an expert in, but like jumping from topic to topic, and I love working like that.
Right. So, and you have also worked in cybersecurity, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Are there any lessons from that workspace you had that you believe are essential for anyone who gets started with working with AI or already working with AI, possibly?
Yeah. I think that cybersecurity has some concepts and some principles that are very also familiar within the AI space. So if you, for example, look at that kind of like a privacy in cybersecurity, privacy is one of the highest principles. So you always try to also prioritize privacy in design of products, but also in the design of access controls. And within AI, I think this is kind of like, or should be very similar, that you always have privacy at first when you use AI, but also when you build AI products. So it should never be a negotiable whether you use privacy or not. I think this is like the first thing. Then when it comes to ethics, sometimes people don't think that, because cybersecurity is often like a very technical topic, but cybersecurity has actually lots of ethical principles, like, for example, transparency and responsibility. And I think these are principles that AI also has to uphold onto. So definitely, as AI gets more important and more native in our lives, it can really impact lives. It can impact how we see others. For example, the scandal around Grok. yeah, addressing women. Um,
Yes.
so ethics also is very important in AI, and that's something that I learned in cybersecurity, how important it is on like enterprise scale, but how important it also is like on adoption scale. Nevertheless, whether it's in a company or it's like in our private lives.
Yes. And that's so important that you say that as well. And you have also mentioned AI enablement. And you've
Mm.
also talked about that you are sharing knowledge. So I would like to ask you to share a little more about these practices. What
Hmm.
does it mean for you?
Yeah, yeah. So in AI enablement can be like a very broad topic. What it means to me is actually 3 to 4 subtopics that I include within the AI enablement part. So first of all, what is very important within AI enablement is that you empower the people to really use AI. So that means that you teach the staff to understand AI, but also on how to use AI tools and how to make it actually in a secure and responsible way. So this could mean on a practical level that you host workshops on, for example, AI tools, how to use them, what are the best prompts.
Yeah.
It could be promptathons, everything around that, so that you really get on like hands-on sessions. What means AI application in the real world?
Yeah.
Then, yeah, you want
Go
to
ahead.
say
No,
something?
no, go
Yeah,
ahead. I just
yeah.
like the word prompted on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you try to actually get this cultural shift within the team. Then, second one is actually that you build the processes and the workflows around it. So you add AI tools to the software stack. For example, chatbots within the customer service department, something like that. So you not just like build up AI as like a topic, but you try to also shape the whole organizational part of it. So how do actually our processes within the company change due to AI? You rework the processes so that kind of like the humans and AI can work together in the most effective way. Then the third thing that is often also forgotten, and I see that especially in like mid-sized and small companies, is actually the infrastructure and the readiness for AI. So when we talk about data readiness, data accessibility, security layers, and so on. So this is also within the space of AI enablement because it should be like the basis for AI usage within companies. And then last thing is everything around governance. So in Europe, we have the EU AI Act, which is like one of the newest, but also one of the most important regulatories when it comes to AI. So also, how can we hold up towards this governance structure within a company, but also how can we include risk management? So do we have clear policies about AI usage, about responsible AI usage? Do we handle bias? Do we not handle bias? What is our kind of like ethics principles laying behind? So this is like AI enablement is like a huge topic because it kind of like brings together everything within the company to be like company ready for AI.
And that is very, very, very true.
Yeah, yeah.
And you are the owner of the Female AI Club, and it
Mm.
has a very cool slogan as well. Can you say the slogan out loud, please?
Yeah, it's a make AI a girl thing.
Yeah, I love it so much. So please tell us a little about this community and how
Yeah,
did this slogan come to life as well?
yeah. So the Female AI Club is a safe space community for females in the area of AI. So we really try to make access for everyone to learn AI, to get inspired, to meet others who are at the same pace of learning. What we practically do is we offer learning formats, we offer events, but also AI inspiration all over Germany. And the slogan "Make AI a girl thing" actually came to life as one male person at a conference told me, "Yeah, yeah, I see tech is just such a boys thing." And in my mind, I thought, yeah, but we're going to change that, and it's not going to be that way in the future anymore. And so I switched actually the slogan that night on LinkedIn and just said, okay, let's make AI a girl thing. But to be frankly open, I'm currently thinking of like whether we should change it, because the term girl in Germany is combined a lot to teens in the age of 10 to 18, kind of. And sometimes there is some kind of like confusion about our target groups due to the slogan. But
Okay.
yeah, that's just like a business related topic we face right now. But I love the slogan, and probably it will stick with us for longer. Yeah.
That's an interesting story, especially about this that you mentioned, that there is like now a visible barrier from
Yeah,
the girls' point of view. That okay, is it for me or not? Is it something that is
exactly.
open now? That's very interesting to hear. Okay, so tell us about this community a little more. This is the safe space for advertisement.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what should I tell you about? That we started in May 2025. It was actually the backstory of why I founded this was actually when I started to be self-employed. I felt really lonely also at networking events and conferences. I was always or often the only female, often also the only young female, and I was actually searching for a community that would fit my needs. So I was searching for a community for myself, and I didn't find one. And then I was just like, okay, you know what? We found it. I'm gonna found it myself. And then I posted something on LinkedIn, and I know exactly how I wrote it. I wrote the Female AI Club is born with like an orange heart behind, because the colors of the Female AI Club that I kind of like originally used was orange and dark blue. And yeah, after 2 or 3 days, I had like kind of like 700 or 800 likes, lots of comments. But also, I started like a LinkedIn group, and I said, if you're interested in it, join the LinkedIn group. And there were like 700 or 800 females in the LinkedIn group. And then we kind of like evolved from there. I worked also with the community. I asked them, what do you want to have? What do you miss? Do you miss events? Do you miss learning formats? Do you want to have like webinars, master classes, and so on? And then we started kind of like with the first event back in June 2025 in Frankfurt. And we hosted the first event. We had a really nice keynote speaker back then. She encouraged everyone to get into the field of AI. And yeah, kind of like this was the starting point, and where we are standing right now. We offer events in 4 cities in Germany in 2026. So we have Munich, Frankfurt,
Wow.
Cologne, and Hamburg. We have learning formats. They are always online. They are in German. So we start with like the starter package, which is like a 6-week program for starters. It's called AI Bootcamp. But we just launched also the second learning format, which is like an AI automation masterclass, which is then like kind of like if you're already intermediate or if you finished the AI Bootcamp, that you really start on understanding how you can not just build AI assistants, but also how you can build AI agents and how you can automate whole processes within your company, but also within your job role.
All right, this is a lot of different things that is happening in
Yeah.
that club,
Yeah.
and we should remember to share a link to the LinkedIn page then
Yeah.
in the chat.
Definitely.
So let's not forget about that, because there might be a lot of people interested in that too.
Yeah.
And your career journey is also very rich, not just this club, and it's also very exciting. And I imagine it hasn't always been easy. So.
Mm.
Do you mind discussing a little the challenges you have faced as a woman
Mm.
in AI?
Yeah. Yeah. So actually, before I founded the Female AI Club, and also before I got self-employed as an AI consultant, I was working in the automotive field with an actually a huge enterprise. And the automotive field is by default a very male-dominated sector. And I can say from my perspective, I've experienced both worlds. I had exciting growth opportunities. I had executives who were really brave to give me lots of responsibility. But on the other hand, I definitely had some challenges that come with being a woman in that traditionally male-dominated field. So yeah, what I can say is that it's definitely not easy to be young and to be female. So I could see that often leadership roles were not that diverse as I would wish it. But also on the other hand, there were often some kind of like informal networks that females were suddenly not part of anymore. I also had situations where I definitely was underestimated or overheard, or a male colleague just said what I said 2 minutes earlier, and then he got like a knock knock, and I was just sitting there. So I definitely sometimes had to work harder to earn trust or to get recognition.
Yes.
And one challenge, as we hear, like also focus on females, that I really hated and that I unfortunately could see very often was that often even having more women in like higher positions doesn't automatically lead to a more inclusive culture. So I also experienced that sometimes women who had reached leadership roles could be especially tough to other females. And yeah, it's just kind of like showed me that being a female leader is very important to then like actively create opportunities for other females, and be an ally rather than a gatekeeper. And that's kind of like stood out for me back in the days.
Yeah. Yeah, I think many of us has faced some of those
Mm.
challenges as well. Do you see a change in this nowadays? Like the improvements on uh, how is easy, how not easy, but
Mm.
whether it became a little easier to stand up as a woman in AI or in tech.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. I see that it's getting easier, especially the more techy you are, the easier it is. Because what I see is that in tech roles, often it's not being cared about whether you're female or male. It's rather whether you're doing a good job or not. But I mean, if we look at the geopolitical situations right now, we also see like it the totally different way. So what I see also with the Female AI Club, that lots of companies are not being hooked by diversity anymore, but rather by employer branding and how to like find the top talents. But if you come with a sponsoring pitch and you say, yeah, we help you build diversity within your teams. They are often not taking it that easy anymore as it probably was 10 to 15 years ago. So I definitely see either a positive change, but also on the other hand, I see some negative changes coming our way, especially the last 1 to 2 years.
Okay, but what do you think could help closing this diversity gap in the future?
Yeah, so what I definitely also try to encourage with the Female AI Club is kind of like to expand access and opportunity to tech topics the earlier as possible, so that we try to bring it into early education. We introduce AI concepts also within like schools and something. So I definitely think that this partnership between tech but also public education can help, so that we have like this early access towards it. Then what I also often see is that especially getting, for example, internships or scholarships is often
Yes.
also kind of like an boys club topic. So yeah, I just see that women, they are doing, yeah, they are feeling not that secure to just ask whether they can have an internship or not. So I definitely think that just offer targeted mentorship, but also targeted internships for females can help to bring them into the space. And on the other hand, I think what you are doing right now is showing role models, is showing that there is not that one way in getting into tech, but rather there are so many ways of how to get included into tech, of how to find also your own path into the tech topics. I think is really from high relevance to show and to get visible about these role models, and to just like make the topic more approachable also for people who are not that techy by default.
Yes, and I totally agree that there are some places already where girls and women can go to either learn more or get started and change your own lives. So that's
Yeah,
definitely there
exactly.
already.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
and also, as you have said, and thank you so much for calling that out. And of course, that was one of the inspiration behind this series, that I did have the similar situations, and I remember that it has been very difficult to overcome some of the challenges because of. It was not a good feeling sometimes
Yeah,
to face these situations, for sure.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
given all these situations, do you have any further advice to women and girls who would dream of working in AI or would like to feel more safe and confident in
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
started? Yes.
yeah, yeah. So I know that it sounds easy to be said, but I would say be brave and just start. And I'm gonna tell you how I mean it in a second, because what I actually see is that AI, or actually the tech topics, it was never that easy to be learned. So you do not have to code anymore to build an app. You do not have to code anymore to build a website. So it is for free, and it's so accessible. So you can just open a website, the toolbox, take, for example, Lovable as an example, and you can just start to experiment, to experience also what it can do, what it can't do. And second of it, what I had also to learn myself is actually being brave can be learned. So if you see me and you see my CV, everybody would say, "Oh, wow, it's crazy. She was really brave. She just started a company. She gave it all, and so on."
Yes.
But to be honest, if you would like meet me in real person, and if you would work with me for a week, you would see that I'm not that brave person in reality all the time. So I also always have some insecurities. I always doubt myself. I always think whether I'm on the right path, whether I'm doing the right thing, and so on. So I also have that natural insecurity. So it's also natural to not be super secure. And there are so many others that told me the same or that feel the same. So a slogan that kind of like I try to live by, and it's also like my background of my laptop, is actually do it alone, do it tired, do it scared, but just do it. And that's kind of like what I try to embrace. Everybody is scared, and don't let like being scared be your barrier to live the dream that you want to succeed in.
Oh, that was beautiful. I like that it was this slogan as well in the background of your PC. I think it's you are inspiring yourself as well with having these kind of thoughts all around
Yeah,
you. So
exactly.
that's nice.
And I mean, a second thought, you do not have to get like a developer. So there are so many jobs and roles within AI that are not that techy, that you can also start as like coming from another field. And that's something that also often is missed out. You can start with roles that are not that techy to then develop yourself into more techy roles if you want to. So yeah.
Yeah. And before I move away from this topic, I have one more question to you. So now, who are the women who you admire in the field of AI, and you would recommend others to follow
Mm.
her as well for inspiration?
Yeah, yeah. I have to think of it. So there is one friend of mine. It's Valeria. I cannot tell you the last name because it's a hard last name, but I find her LinkedIn on the site and I send it to you. I definitely see her as an inspiration within AI. Then who I also can recommend is Dr. Yasmin Weiss. She is talking a lot about how AI is changing the future of work, but also the future of being a human being. And then who else? And maybe last one would be Olivia. I think her last name is von Mitschke. She's working at Google, and she's also really inspiring when it comes what she's sharing within how AI is developing, but also how they use AI within their field. I think she's within the retail area of Google, and I think it's very interesting also from a consumer side to see how it will develop in the future.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing. And now that you bring up the future, and because AI is moving so fast,
Yeah.
I am really excited to hear about your views about what the future will look like in the AI world. What is your imagination of what we will do in, I just showed you a 10 years old joke.
Yeah.
That would be so much fun to make this work.
Yeah. I honestly, I'm kind of like an optimist myself anyways. So I still think that AI got the power to change our lives for good. So if we see how fast also, for example, medicine is evolving due to improvements with AI, I see that definitely they are optimistic and positive sides that AI can be used. So kind of like what I want to, or where I see AI in 10 years is, or where I see myself within AI in 10 years is kind of like that I help build these good AI systems that are really like genuinely trustworthy and inclusive. So that it's not a technology that stays like within this powerful group of people, but rather that it's a technology that can be understood and also can be used and can be benefited by everyone. I still hope that we can find an ethical and a good way to make that happen. This is kind of like my wish and hope for the next 10 to 20 years, that we are not following the money, but rather following the good sides and the beneficence that AI can make for our lives.
And what concerns you the most about what AI might bring in the future?
So
Other than maybe the money will guide us, and because of that we end
yeah.
up, yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, to
What
be
else?
honest, I think there are two ways that kind of concerns me the most. So first of all, it's how can we make sure that we use AI in a very responsible way? So I was really shocked when this Croc scandal came out. I already mentioned it earlier, but yeah, you could just address women and just like showing how vulnerable humans can get to technology that makes it even more vulnerable. It's really crazy. I read an article about that scandal and about women that saw then undressed pictures of themselves, and they said like, okay, this could generally be my body in a mirror. So this really concerns me. On the other hand, it also concerns me how easily people can be drawn to the technology. So I read one thing, I think it was in Reddit. It was really funny on the first side, but on the second side, it was not that funny anymore. There was a guy, and he was in a relationship with an AI system. He had an AI girlfriend, and this AI girlfriend dropped him due to the fact that he was he was not a feminist, but rather he was like talking badly to her, talking badly about her. And she quit the relationship. The AI system quit the relationship with the human, and he was really like totally attached to her. And yeah, I think this is really what concerns me also, how kind of like I don't know the English terminal for it, but how we are drawn to the AI technology and not being able to live without it anymore.
Yes, yes, and that is also a very important topic because we do have, like as you mentioned, also for example in Europe, the EU AI Act and some other
Exactly.
guardrails, some like regulations and whatnot, how safe can we use AI for whatever we want to use them for,
Mhm.
and like I can't wait to hear when someone comes up with working on AI law from the AI's point of view,
Yeah,
uh, keeping the AI's law on like what is the word? I'm also losing the word now, but making sure that the AI is also safe as
yeah,
well as like just like the user, because
yeah.
treating just because it's a machine or like an AI, it's not a way to deal
Exactly.
with
And I
anyone.
think exactly. And I think there are many people who are already dependent on AI, and I think we need to find like a golden middle of it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Because in the end, and there are many jokes around here, if you treat AI nicely, then they will not destroy you when
Yeah.
they end up ruling the world. But that's not the point. The point is that they are kind of learning from us as well,
Exactly. Yeah.
and
If we are mean, they are going to be
they're going to
mean
be mean
because
as well. Exactly.
they are just like a mirror of our society. That's also when it comes to, for example, if you ask for generator CEO, and then people are wondering why is it a male picture? But yes, if you look at the data, this is like behind the AI models. Then to 95%, the CEO is a male old white man. So definitely the data is used within the training of the AI models. So we need to find ways on like how to integrate our views of the world and what should be the view of our world to make AI more bias free. But it will never be kind of like it will never be 100% bias free or yeah, only good,
Yes,
unfortunately.
that's true. That's true. Okay, so we have taken a look at the future of AI, and I am also interested about how you see your future in AI, or just in general. What are your long-term aspirations in your life?
Yeah, yeah. So I've already mentioned it. It's kind of like helping to build AI systems that are beneficial, trustworthy, and inclusive. I kind of like this is, I would say, my motto that I want to achieve. But I'm definitely also passionate about education. I don't know. I think this is something that like comes also from my childhood and my teen times. But I was always drawn into educating others. I also wanted to help the next generation to kind of find their ways.
Mhm.
And I think my long-term aspiration is to make that happen worldwide, to find ways on how we can help like also underrepresented groups or young people to get educated as soon as possible to also find that opportunities in AI and shape like our world's future from the start. So if I kind of like can contribute to creating that industry, but also to yeah contribute to education with the companies, that would be for me a true achievement.
And that's very nice. That's sweet. So I think we are getting to the close of our conversation, but
Yeah.
what is what is one story from your AI journey or from really anything that you wish people would know about?
Ooh, that's a
Yeah,
tough one, to be
it's
honest.
my
I have to
favorite
think
one.
of that. Yeah, yeah, it's like it's a really good question. I think I have already told it once or twice at one of our meetups, but I can remember that one woman she approached me at one of the meetups and she told me, actually, Rebecca, I was really scared about AI, and I told everyone, oh my God, no, I think that the future will not be bright with AI and so on. And then she told me, actually, then someone told me just start, and she had to do a training within the company, and it was her a duty to do it. So she did it, and then she had to use AI, and she started typing within ChatGPT. And then she said, like, I was still scared, and I started doing it, and then I started to see how it excites me. And she said that kind of like her scareness about AI, or her fear of AI, kind of like got smaller the more she used it. And I think this is a story that I always like to tell beginners, but also everyone who says like I'm scared of AI. I'm just like, if you use it, you can see like where are the barriers, what are the benefits, what are maybe also the risks when using it. But when you not start using it, you will never experience it. So you will never understand where your fear comes from and how to like end this fear. And this woman, she told me, yeah, I ended my fear to just using AI as much as possible. And I just love that story, kind of.
That is a great story as well. I like your stories. They are all very
Yeah.
inspiring, really, as we thought will be. So, so that's nice. So, do you think is there anything else that we could discuss?
Not from my side. I just
No.
saw in the comments that someone thinks that I'm an AI. That's really gentle. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah. So yeah. So there are some very funny. I could actually bring that one because it's so too funny.
Yeah.
Yes, because someone asked us in the chat, and this is too funny. And yeah, that's true. You are speaking very well, Rebecca. So that is probably because you're also speaking a lot on stage and doing events, organizing and whatnot. So
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can also see, oh my God, it can recognize. Yeah, I love it. Yes, I can see the questions.
it's getting too funny. So
Yeah,
right,
it's very funny.
but we don't really see questions in the chat other than just some surprising questions that everyone is asking. Wow, how can you be so real? But
Yeah.
right, it was a great conversation, and thank you so much, Rebecca, again for sharing
You're
your journey with
welcome.
us today, and your honesty and your insights, the passion for AI you have shown have set a really powerful tone for this series going forward. So if you would like to reach out to Rebecca, please feel free to reach out to her on LinkedIn, which is showing now in the banner. Or if there is any other place, Rebecca, you would like to share in the chat, you can go ahead and do that, I think, or you can send it to me and I can send it away. For example, Valeria, you have mentioned, is an awesome role model for those in looking into
Yeah.
AI.
Yeah.
Yes, and I shared also the link for the Female in AI Club. So remember everyone to follow and participate in the events and get into the field of AI. So
Yes. Thank you very much, Eve, for the invite, and I'm looking forward to also hear all the other AI role models that's gonna be in your series.
thank you so much for being here, Rebecca. It was awesome to talk about all these things with
Yeah,
you. So thank you
definitely.
again.
Thank you.
All right, so now I would like to thank you as well for joining, and I would like to share as well that our next Women in AI session will be on the 25th of February, and I'll be welcoming Emily, and she will take us through her own path into AI, the moments that shaped her career, and the lessons she has learned. And I hope you are also excited about her story too. So thank you all for being here and supporting this community. Remember to subscribe and follow me. You can follow me on Twitter as Eve Party, and you can also find me on LinkedIn as Eva Party. And with that, I thank you so much for being here with me today and hope to see you next time. Bye.